I'm not going to call them elite because I call them parasites. They're the ones controlling this. 4 banks. They are the ones that are controlling
Which
all
4
of this.
banks?
Vanguard.
Yep.
I
bet you're going to say BlackRock, aren't you?
BlackRock. The Rothschilds are up there, and I can't.
They're not a bank.
No, but they are.
They're a family.
Yeah, they are part of all of this. They're
shareholders, but they're.
Yeah, they want. These people are really greedy. They want everything. They don't just.
Who's the 4th?
I can't remember who the 4th one is. I mean, I should have looked that up before I came, but I didn't.
Welcome to Marky Ready Set Go, and as always I bring you the best guests. Now today I've got a real treat for you. I've got Carol. She's a conspiracy theorist. I met her in a hot, wet, steamy place, but that's a whole different story, and she's been nice enough to come down to the studio. Carol, how are you doing?
I'm absolutely fine, thank you, Mark.
Carol, let's start. Where do you want to start?
Well, I can start 4 years ago when they started this. Well, I'll say the word cobblers over a virus that didn't exist. Okay?
COVID-19.
That's the word. I can't even say the word. It irritates me that much. But they brought out this experimental jab, which terrified me. And I ran in the other direction. Everybody else was running towards it. I was running away from it. I got isolated, screamed at, shouted at, sworn at, because I wouldn't take it. And that wasn't just from friends, that was family as well. So I was isolated for 4 years from my own family.
Do you know the thing about the masks and the first empowerment of middle-aged white women? Do you know about this?
No.
Okay, so for the first time in the history of the world, middle-class white women had a stature to shout at anybody, "Wear your mask! Wear your mask!" That they never had the power, and it wasn't about the mask. Psychiatrists have said that it was about the fact that they could finally, instead of just shouting at their kids or whatever, they could shout who they wanted. And there's a whole narrative about that was one of the things where it was so...
So obviously I didn't wear one, you can gather that.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
I wouldn't wear it. I refused point blank. I went in parks, I met people that I didn't know, strangers. We hugged because they were feeling exactly the same way as I did. We're now friends. We now go and stand in the park every Sunday for 2 hours just to talk, and we have a newspaper out, The Light.
I know about this. I know some of the people from The Light.
Right, well, this we obviously purchased this, and we go around the town or other towns as well, spreading the information.
Can I just take this and we're going to...
Please.
Here we go. Oh, voila. I will upload some of this.
Thank you. We love to give them out. We want people to have the real information, not the information that the I don't even know what they are. The Sun, the Daily Mail, all of those are...
Didn't see the sport get in there, did you?
Yeah, no, they didn't get in there. That was nice of them. But all the others...
We print a load of shit, that's why.
But all of the other papers are being paid off to print, obviously, what the agenda wants.
Can I just stop you there?
Yeah.
If anyone wants to pay me off writing for the sport, you just call me, okay? You just call me.
But you understand what we're saying here. Everybody's been paid off. We mustn't talk about this subject. We mustn't talk about the Agenda 2030. Not allowed to talk about that.
What's 2030 for?
I'll just hand you one of those, a leaflet, which that's about potholes. But on the back is really the real information. Talking about all the things that they're trying to do about net zero. Which is obviously also...
I'll tell you what, this scared me at first. Only one short haul flight every 3 years. I get on a plane every single week.
Well, I'm telling you, that's what
Two planes a week.
That's what they're trying to do.
Sometimes 4.
That's what they're trying to do. They'll stop you using your car. They will stop you. It's already started.
3 new items of clothing a year.
Yeah. This is what they really are going for. I'll
tell you what, you only ever see me head to toe in the designer kits. I don't know how that's going to... No privately owned cars. No beef or lamb.
That's what I was talking about this morning. Do you remember when I said about the farmers?
That's mental, isn't it?
But this is what's been going on, and this is what's being hidden. And so when we're out there and we're being told we're not...
I mean, the Hindus will be happy, but, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But they'll be the only ones. I like my beef.
Yeah, who doesn't like... Everyone likes beef.
Exactly. And I'm sort of like going... So what they're doing is it starts with control, which is what they started like 4 years ago. Put on the mask, be a slave.
Yep.
Then it went on from there to, we've got a jab for you. They've just brought out a new one, actually. Hope you've all heard about it. The new cancer experimental one. I hope the poor people with cancer don't run off to get it, because obviously I reckon it's in the same...
Well, what do you reckon about cannabis oil then?
Oh, get on it. Do you know why they don't want you to use cannabis? Because it's good for you.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything.
No.
either way
All
about
I'm telling you is it's good for you. They don't want you to use anything that's good for you. That's why dandelions are being killed, because dandelion is really good for you. So they don't want you to use it. That's why they spray them with the poisons.
I mean, I have heard that MDMA helps save more marriages than breakups. You know, and I mean, did you know they've legalised cocaine in Amsterdam?
Have they really?
Yeah. Only in small bits, not
yeah,
like, you know.
but I wouldn't know that.
You can't like go and buy yourself a box of it.
I have never taken a drug. It's not something that I've done. That's not strictly true. Obviously, I've tried cannabis.
The devil's lettuce?
Yes, obviously I've done that. That would be ridiculous to not say so. But all the other stuff, it's never been my bag. I would never inject myself with anything at all.
I mean, living in Eastbourne, that's a shock, but you know.
Yeah. So it is a shock to see that on our streets. But all I can say about what's happening, it's like they're pushing at the moment net zero. Our own councillors, absolutely raving bonkers.
What's net zero?
Net zero. That no carbon.
I covered the roof of my bar in solar panels. It cost me £12,000. They don't work, right? That I save, okay, from the electricity. I will see a return for my £12,000 in 10 years. If I'm lucky, right? It caps, it's mental, it's point. And also, 4 of them are broken at the moment, and you can't get someone to repair them.
So what happens, I'm glad you got onto that. So what happens, it's broken, we've had to take it down and put a new one up. Where's it going? Into landfill. That's really, really green, isn't it? Along with the wind farms, exactly the same thing. Those great big propellers, when it all breaks down, they open up the land and they shove them in. There's huge, great farms with all of these propeller blades in them.
And they just drop it into the sea.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? And they're telling us.
There's no plastic in the sea to make carry bag now.
You know, to not do this.
Yeah, but what? Okay, now playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
What's the answer?
What is the answer? Well, the answer is get all these people out of power for a start.
Yeah, but how do we fuel?
I don't know.
Hydrogen?
Fuel.
How do we fuel how do we get our food from point A to point B?
Cars and trucks, the same as we've always done. There isn't a problem with fuel at all. Only the problem that they're making. I'm not going to call them elite because I call them parasites. They're the ones controlling this. 4 banks. They are the ones that are controlling
which
all
4
of this.
banks?
Vanguard.
Yep.
I
bet you're going to say BlackRock, aren't you?
BlackRock. The Rothschilds are up there, and I can't.
They're not a bank.
No, but they are.
They're a family.
Yeah, they are part of all of this. They're
shareholders, but they're.
Yeah, they want. These people are really greedy. They want everything. They don't just.
Who's the 4th?
I can't remember who the 4th one is. I mean, I should have looked that up before I came, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But that's the sort of thing that's going on. If you look at all the big stores, Tesco's and see who owns them. Go right back to see who owns those stores, because you'll go back to these banks.
Oh yeah, no, I mean there is a narrative.
So what they're going to do is they're going to squeeze out all the little tiny people with all their little businesses. They're already doing it now.
If anyone wants to buy Major, don't be shy.
Please take it, it says. But yeah, they're trying to squeeze all the little men out because they want all the money to go in one place.
I mean, there is... Okay, so BlackRock started as BlackRock was the first sort of... Well, I don't know if it's the first, but it's the most successful originated AI business. Most originated AI trade bets, wasn't it? That's how it started. Because you know they lost like hundreds of million the first time round. They lost it again and they reset it so it works on fractional reserve and then went through the roof.
Well, then, I mean, they've got more money than they'll ever need. Ever. But that's another thing, talking about money. All of that's a real fallacy. If you look at any of your notes, it says on there some daft thing about it's not really legal tender, it's just a piece of paper, isn't it?
But you know, it's only about I think isn't it about 7% or something of all our, I don't think it's even that high. It might be 4% of all the currency is cash, is physical notes.
Right. So that's another story of them taking you from cash over to cashless.
But I was in Morocco last week, and I get to travel a lot, so I'm very lucky. There's certain countries, like if you go to, say, Amsterdam, if you go to the Netherlands, everything's cardless, right? Everything's contact, ding, 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 ding. But when I was in Marrakesh, you try using your card there, it just shuts down, bang, and the bank shuts it down. So you have to go to a cash point and then take your cash out. I mean, to be fair, it's so cheap, you don't care.
I would only use cash anyway. I'd do my utmost not to use my card.
But you couldn't, when you go to, there's loads of countries I fly to. Denmark, couldn't use it.
Yeah,
Monaco,
so I will never go there.
Monaco.
It's quite simple. Those countries I will never travel to. Anywhere, even if I go into a shop now, if they tell me that they're card only, unless I went to White Rock Theatre this year. It was my granddaughter was dancing, so I had to use my card. I moaned about it, I complained about it, but I still had to do it because I wanted to see my granddaughter dance. Had it been anything else, if it had been something for myself to buy, I would have gone, forget it, I won't have it. I'll turn around and walk away.
Okay.
That's how it's going to be.
What are you going to do when you get the centralised?
Yeah, we're going to be
CB centralised CBDC.
When we get to that problem,
like a BBL.
We are really in the poop. We really are, because that means then they've got complete control over every single person.
But won't people just use Bitcoin?
Well, I won't. Silver and gold you'll be better off with, but
okay. But I mean, look at Rolexes. Rolex has just lost. I mean, you can shave £1,000 off your Rolex right now. Like, you know, any say 10%, you can shave 10% of any Rolex right now, and it's dropping, and that's because of all the stabbings in London.
Yeah.
You know, so what happens with gold? People start fighting for gold, and that will.
Well, they always have, but the problem we're having now is that once cash is taken up, it means that all the big people have control over you. So now we've stopped that. So guess what? Today we've shut down all the cards. Yeah, but I need food. Sorry,
but I'm just going to hypothetically say that a lot of drug dealers now use crypto because of the exchanges. Because you think, say I want to go and move £100,000. People ask questions where that's going. But say I want to move.
Try and do it with 2,000.
Yeah.
even 2,000, because I go in and ask for 2,000.
I mean,
there's always a problem.
I was actually in a bank the other day, and I had to withdraw a considerable amount of money. And when I drew the money out, they didn't even have. They were saying, like, we can't do this. It's ridiculous. I would have cleared them out for the day. You know?
We always have a problem. You go in and they say, well, it's 2,000. We want to know what you're doing with it. Actually, it's none of your business. It's mine.
They use no money laundering. Yeah, you're only allowed £500 in your pocket.
Well, we'll take 2,000 now, and I'll argue with them all day long.
You have to have a reason for it, though.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's...
Well, I just go... I mean, so far...
You could get done for the proceeds of crime.
Not really, because it is my money.
Oh, yeah, of course. But then you have to prove it,
Yeah, it's my money. I mean, I was in there the last time I did it. The guy said to me, you do realise you're responsible for that once you leave here. I said, that's absolutely correct. It's mine.
Yeah.
And I went, the only person who knows that it's missing is you. I said, so are you going to rob me when I get outside? He was horrified. And I thought,
I mean, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be in a strip club where you have to go and tap your card, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
I mean, exactly, because you wouldn't know how much you were spending.
I was in a strip club that my friend owned the other day, and he lets me drink for free. He sorts me out, and, like, you know, obviously I don't bother with the girls dancing, but, you know, if I wanted it, I could have it for free. And they're very nice young ladies, I'd like to add. Big shout out to my man Paul. I was filming the other day in Prague. Now, you can use cash in Prague. They don't mind a bit of cash. I got taken to a brothel by this German lad and this Jewish lad, this Israeli lad. I shouldn't say Jewish, Israeli. So this Israeli dude took me there. And when we went in, they were allowing me to film in there. Oh, not in all of it, but in certain parts of it. And I was with all the brasses dancing and filming. They were having a lot of fun. You know, the video's coming soon. It's a good video. But when all of this madness was happening, they wanted the cards of people because obviously they can put what they want into that tap.
Yeah.
And these businessmen, they don't want to go home and say, yeah, I just got fleeced for £2,000 off, you know, some Latvian brass.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, the cash is, and also, it's weird, but I don't know. I feel like I see a lot of stuff like, you know, there's certain things you need cash for. You know? Giving your money, your kids money, you want to give them a bit of cash.
Absolutely, always.
Yeah.
My grandchildren always have. They always get cash with whatever they're getting, whether it's their birthday, whatever. There's always a little cash incentive in there. They love, look what I've got.
Yeah.
They just love it. And I say, well, you can go and buy something you want.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
So if we've taken that away, am I really going to just tap something out and give it? I'm not, am I? And I'm not saying that's because I don't want to give it to them.
Give them some of your gold you've got stashed.
Well, even that.
Yeah.
Do you see? I haven't actually got any gold stashed because I keep thinking, where would you put it? Where have you got to put it to hide it?
Where would you stash your gold?
Come on, where would you stash
Write
your
in the
gold?
comments.
Where would you stash your gold? See what I mean? But it's all these problems are going to come up. They are.
I mean, there's always problems in life, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
So, okay, so we've dealt with food, we've dealt with money. Let's talk about the air.
The air. You want to talk about the cloud seeding and the geoengineering, which is in this.
This is what brought us two together, by the way.
It's actually, there is an article in there over it, but it's been going on a long time. This hasn't been going on like the last few years. This has been going on for, probably, I know it's 2009 they were doing it. They were doing it before that, but I know they were doing it then. So they've been doing this, changing the weather to what they want, manipulating it in different places.
Cloud seeding,
geoengineering, and it goes on and on. They're doing. Did you hear the thunderstorm the other night?
I mean, I slipped through it.
You slept through it. Well, I did hear it, and I literally thought, wow, that was it. I didn't get up. I'm not that bothered, but it was a very peculiar sound. And I asked everybody, I said, did you hear the storm last night? And they went, yeah. I said, what was it like? And they went, well, it was the strangest storm I've ever heard. And I went, that's really, really funny, because that's what I thought. And what I heard from somebody else was somebody who was in my family, who is definitely on the other side, literally said, I've never heard a storm like that. I went, no, funny, wasn't it? That was all I could say, because I'm not allowed to speak on anything that I'm talking about here today. I'm not allowed to. I have to be the normal grandma.
I mean, with that, we're going to have a quick word from our sponsors. Then we're going to come back and I'm going to ask the question we all want to know. Lizard people. See you in a sec. Welcome back. Big thank you for the people promoting us and doing well. Power to the people. Okay, let's talk about the lizard people.
Okay, let's talk about them.
Well, I don't know. I want to. Are they real?
I don't know if they're real. I mean, there's some really good pictures out there, but whether they're real or not, I have no idea. Yeah, there's lots of tunnels, lots of.
Let's talk about the tunnels then.
Yeah, lots of underground tunnels with lots and lots of food and all manner of things to keep you alive for probably about 100 years.
I mean, I have seen Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, the Tates. You know, people are building underground bunkers.
Yeah. So what's going on? Why are they?
I mean, I'll tell you what is terrifying. Did you see what Putin, he did a piece to camera to the Russian people, and he basically said, I will go to war. End of story. And that guy, he is not fucking about.
Right. So where were you in the Ukraine war then? Do you think that was a real war?
I mean, it's still going.
Yeah. No, this again is all about money.
Always about money.
Always about money.
Everything's about money.
Yeah. I watched a clip where a young lady reporter, she was tiny, petite, with all the army gear on, doing her reporting, and she had a little clicker in her hand, and she kept clicking the wrong background. She had the White House. She had manner of different ones. They kept saying, wrong one. And then eventually she got the war going on behind her. And you're like going, oh, that's how you do it, is it?
Have you seen the clip of all the news reporters where they go, welcome to Channel 6, Channel 7? Yes.
Yes. See what I mean?
And they all have the same dialogue.
Absolutely. Have you ever seen that before? Newspapers all having exactly the same, that went on really, really funny, with exactly the same dialogue. Absolutely everything was on the front page.
I'm going to say about this, there is something to do with this that you, oh my God. As if. Hold on, we're just going to pause this. Princessa? Babe, I'm just recording. Is everything good?
Yeah, just going to wonder if I'd have a five-side coffee.
Oh, right, yeah. Cool, Mum. I love you. I'll send it over as soon as I'm done. Love you, bye. We'll edit that one out. Sorry, the only person that can always get through is my daughter. Obviously.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, she beats everything. Right, okay. And back to that. I might even leave that in. Love you, Chip. Right. Okay. Let's talk about, you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yep.
What do you think the biggest narrative running through everything now with this war is?
The Ukraine or the...
Well, I mean, it's one and the same almost.
Well, it is. They're all being manipulated.
It's all part bricks.
Yeah, they're all being... This is all about money, and it's all about... USA, Britain, I want to say Israel. These are the ones who are causing the wars. And I'm not saying even about... It's not even about killing people, really, even though they are. I mean, clearly they are.
It's a few die.
Clearly they are. But what I'm saying is, again, this is all about money. It's all about... Because once they've blown up the place, right? So they've blown up Ukraine. We know it's still going on. But it's been going on a long time. They're making out it's been going on for a few years. It's been going on a lot longer, isn't it? Saying like 14 years. So I think it's a little bit lame saying that it's, still going on. Well, it is. And it will continue to carry on. All the time, Ukraine, well, they're laundering money for starters. That's what they're really doing. That's why all the money's being poured into there. That's why everything's going to the Ukraine. Because they're pouring our money into the Ukraine to launder it, to get it out.
Okay.
And that's what's going on.
We're putting our money in to get it out?
Well, it's all being washed, isn't it? It's all being washed and just,
But why are they washing the money?
Well...
No, people want to know.
Well, they should be looking this up and finding out, really. I mean,
You're here for this.
Well, I can't tell them everything. I can't give them everything out. It's a bit like, okay, are you all paying your council tax?
Read the paper.
Yeah, the
light.
Are you all paying your council tax? Are you all paying your utility bills? All of them are fraudulent, but that's fine. You can pay them if you want to. I'm just saying that they're fraudulent. You should be paying them. Have you got a birth certificate?
I've got a birth certificate.
Have you got a birth certificate? Each one of you that's got a birth certificate, that has been, as soon as they registered you, that money was put in trust for you. That has been sold on the market.
I saw something on TikTok the other day that said if you put your national insurance number in, this number, there's a Royal Bank of Scotland black account for you. So I found my Royal Bank of Scotland black account, but you can't do anything with it.
Well, exactly. You can't. Well, you say you can't do anything with it. That on the bottom of your bill, I haven't got a bill here with me to show you, but on the bottom of your bill is usually a piece of paper, isn't there, which says that you could pay it. Normally, you could pay it and they'd stamp it.
Yep.
On that, it's already been paid. So when you pay it, it's being paid twice. This all goes back to the straw man. But that's a whole bigger story, yeah.
Who's the straw man?
The straw man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to go back and look for the straw man. Because this is how it all starts. Literally, go and look for the Sovereign Project. And I've done when I did the Sovereign Project, which told me all about the fraudulent...
I assume the Sovereign Project is about the sovereignty law.
Yeah.
I've seen people getting nicked with this in court. I've seen people walk into court...
Because they're not doing it in the correct... They're not doing it in the correct order.
I've seen a lot of people getting arrested on social media trying this. Have you ever used it?
As if I'm going to tell you, Mark. As if I'm going to say anything to you about that.
I mean, I've seen, because, okay, I've seen a lot of these people that are saying, you do this, you do this, you do this. And it's like, if your kid's getting bullied at school and you're that stupid that you put online, I'm going to go and do this. And all these idiots weigh in, they say, oh, I'll beat him up, I'll beat him up. Someone bullies my kids, I will just come and beat
They're
them
just
up.
going to get it, aren't they?
I'll just do it slyly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll put it on here, you know, very current, you know, got my daughter's back. But, you know, you
There
have
definitely
to...
are ways.
Of course, but you get all these people that weigh. But this is what I feel this is. This is I see a lot of people weighing like, common sovereignty law, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, don't mean nothing. I've got a parking fine come through. And, you know, I had an issue with the bailiffs and it was bad and it was very awkward. And then the bailiff was very kind in the end and helped show me how I didn't have a problem. So I appreciate what he did to me. But it wasn't anything to do with the sovereignty law.
Now, you see that fine, had a bailiff come to your door, that had been sold to him. That bill has been sold to him. You don't owe him anything. Your contract was not with him. Your contract was with the council. Okay?
I've had the police turn up.
Yeah, no,
over
the
this.
police have no jurisdiction over it. It was a civil matter. The police have no jurisdiction.
But then they start
they harass
with a bailiff, not for the what's the one above the bailiff? The High Court. Yeah. High Court enforcement.
Did they take you to court?
I can't remember what it was about.
But... Do you see what I'm getting at? They come and when you look at their warrant, look at the paper. Make sure it's been signed in a wet ink. Because the moment it has been signed in a wet ink, it means nothing. Go away.
But I've heard this as well. I've seen
And truthfully, this works.
Okay. Well, tell us now how this works.
Well, I can't. It's really quite complicated for me to sit here and tell you where I did weeks of going to this sovereign project and listening and learning, and I still haven't learned it all. I have to keep going back in and going over it again because it's literally telling you how they've cheated us, how they've been fraudulent, how they've literally taken all of this away from us all. They've stolen everything.
So, it's too much for us to get. I get that. So, what's the next thing? You've got about 6 minutes.
Excellent.
Let rip.
Let rip. Oh gosh, you don't need to let rip.
I will. Wouldn't you?
Oh, okay. Well, I want them to stop spraying. I want us to walk down the street without having trouble with our chest, wheezing. I want them to stop cloud seeding so that our tap water, always filter mine. I wouldn't touch their filthy water. It's disgusting. Filter your water, guys. If you've seen what they're doing to it, you wouldn't want it anyway. And that's all over everywhere. We're paying good money for them to keep it clean and they're not.
There's a lot of chlorine in it, which is a neurotoxin. That is a real thing as well.
Fluoride.
Yeah, fluoride's a neurotoxin
poison,
as well.
Absolute poison. Don't have your toothpaste even with it in. Get rid of it. Get something else that's healthy. Truthfully.
I mean, I did see with Gary Brecker, amazing guy, biohacker, you can clean your teeth with fluoride. You can wash your mouth out with water from it. But if you have one glass, it's the equivalent of cleaning your teeth like 100 times.
It's really toxic. Really toxic.
Yeah, I've heard this from a few people.
We're all of us who've been watching this and really going through it, we don't use any toothpaste with fluoride in it. And we would say to people, and I was distilling my water, unfortunately it broke, so I was distilling my water to make sure I wasn't getting anything in it.
What about alcohol?
What's the matter with alcohol? There's nothing wrong with that, is
Alcohol's
there?
good?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, alcohol's great.
Yeah.
I don't even have a problem with people smoking. I'm going to tell you something else. Nicotine is really, really good for people who've had the jab.
Really?
Yeah. They're telling people to put a nicotine patch on to collect the spike protein out of their body.
What spike protein?
That was in the jab.
Okay.
See what I mean? These were all things that you don't know because they didn't tell you. When you had your jab, when they were telling you to have your jab, they were saying, oh, you need this, right? You didn't need it. But they were also putting the spike protein in there which they said didn't go through the blood barrier, doesn't go through the brain barrier. It does. It goes through all of those things. So it's gone into your body. Hopefully, I mean, you've already said that you were really ill. So
I just died 2 minutes.
Yeah, so that's worry for me. But I hoped that everybody who had the first jab had a placebo.
In 2 weeks, today, it was 3 years ago since they said I had 12 hours to live.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is why it's so frightening. Yeah, this is why it's so frightening, because you know that these people are still going out and getting, well, they're on their 8th, some of them. 8.
8.
Why do they need 8? But they've been programmed now, you see. You need another one. You need a booster for your booster, for your booster, for your booster.
And 8.
8. They're definitely on 6 that we've heard in this area, but 8. A friend of mine in Manchester phoned me, and he was having his hair cut, and he said, stop, because the barber was telling him, he's just gone and had his 8th. He phoned me and went, Carol, you're not going to believe it. He's just had 8. I went, shut up. He went, I swear to you, that's what the barber's just told me. So do you see what I mean? Even he, and I'd stopped him from getting the jab. I phoned him and I said, do not take it. And he was going, well, I said, ask your consultant when you go and speak to him. And the consultant sent him a letter, and it said at the bottom of it, do not take it in case you die. Basically said that. I've got the letter on my phone.
Wow. Well, Carol, this has been amazing. Okay.
I hope you've enjoyed it.
I will add a link to the Light newspaper.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will see you next week for another thrilling instalment of Marky Ready Set Go.
Thank you, Mark.